So if you've just watched The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 2, you'll likely know what just happened. Spoilers, obviously. They killed Joel, okay? I mean, we knew it was going to happen, but yeah. And whilst I saw it coming, I'd hoped they'd do it a little better this time, but somehow they've made his death worse in my opinion, so let's just talk about it. The episode opens with a flashback of Abby at the hospital running towards the operating room where her dad was just killed by Joel, and this scene was fine, I guess. It didn't really do a lot for me. We then cut to seeing the most unintimidating group I think I've ever laid my eyes on. Like, how am I expected to think these guys killed Joel? And they're at a lodge overlooking Jackson, so they're getting pretty close to Joel. We then cut to Ellie and Jesse getting ready to go out on a run together, which was not how it happened in the game. It was Ellie and Dina, but I guess they decided to change that, and instead of Joel and Tommy going out, it's Dina and Joel. So fair enough, I guess. And oh yeah, there's a snowstorm coming. By the way, very worried for Bella Ramsey taking the reins of the show. Her acting is just not it. Like, she was okay as young Ellie, but she seems to be really struggling as an older role. She just seems very unnatural, and you can kind of tell she's acting, which is like the worst trait for an actor. I'm guessing the reason they also switched out Dina with Jesse was because they didn't want the sex scene, which happened in the game, which is fair enough, I guess, but they didn't need to include that if they just had Dina with Ellie anyway, but oh well. We cut back to Abby, and she's gone away from her group at the lodge, and she falls into a pit of frozen infected, and apparently Cordyceps can sense in snow somehow, because when Abby was walking in between them, the snow all just suddenly melted, revealing hundreds of infected. I'm not sure how the snow melted like that, but oh well. And it then leads to this huge chase, which was really cool. And just as Abby looks like she's about to be bitten by an infected, Joel ends up saving the day, and Abby suggests they should go back to her lodge. I wonder what that could be for. We cut back to Ellie and Jesse in the weed farm thing, and I'm sorry, Bella Ramsey saying, "I can't wait to get high," is so unbelievable and unnatural. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's so cringe. If you see the scene, you'll know what I mean. But anyway, they get a call saying Joel's not responding, so Ellie and Jesse go out after Joel in the snowstorm. We then get back to Jackson, and someone accidentally triggers the Cordyceps, alerting all infected to where they are, which is actually really cool. Again, wasn't in the game. And then we get a scene where all of the infected just start running towards Jackson. And then they actually end up breaking into Jackson with a big old bloater. And then there's this one scene where they're all charging in, and for some reason, they ignore Tommy. Like, they all just run past him for some reason. I'm not sure what that was about, but like, he just seemed like repellent. I don't know. Like, they were all running around him. You'll see what I mean. I think it was just an oversight. I don't know, but yeah. And then we're getting close to what everyone's fearing. Joel, Dina, and Abby make it to the lodge. Abby then tells her group who Joel and Dina are, and they're captured by the group, and then Dina's sedated for some reason. I don't know why that was necessary, but yeah, like, there was no reason for her to be sedated. Once Dina's sedated, Abby decides to give Joel her big old speech. She tells Joel to tell her the truth for some reason, like he'd been lying to her, and then shoots him in the fucking leg, which was in the game, to be fair, but the speech wasn't. She then gives him another big speech about how he didn't care about shooting her dad, which also wasn't in the game. I guess they were trying to make up for how poorly received it was. Didn't work for me. But again, why would he have cared about that? Why would he care about some doctor if he was protecting Ellie, his surrogate daughter? I just didn't care for it. I did like the bit where Joel told her to shut the fuck up, though. That was good. I like that. And then she picks up the golf club and proceeds to hit his leg for some reason. I get that you'd want to make his death better, but this, again, did not make it better. It just made it weird. And then start punching him in the face, which with her build, I don't know if you've seen her, but what she did to his face would not have been possible. That is so unbelievable. But oh well, we'll continue. Ellie, as in the game, finds the lodge and breaks in, but is held down by Abby's group. But yeah, they did end up going through with killing Joel, not smashing his head in with a golf club, but stabbing him in the neck this time. I'm guessing it was trying to make the death more dignified, but it just seemed to make it worse, in my opinion. Like, I genuinely would have rather the golf club scene, I'm not gonna lie. To be fair, I guess they were thinking it's a bit unrealistic with their build. I don't know. And then we see the ruins of Jackson as Ellie, Dina, and Jesse ride back. Okay, so likes. I was a fan of the whole infected attack on Jackson. I thought it was all really well done. I thought the infected all charging towards the wall looked great, and it kind of reminded me of World War Z a little bit. And I liked the fight scenes with them deploying the defense mechanisms. It was just cool. Although I do feel like that would have been a good choice the first episode, as not a lot particularly happened in that, but I'll get into it in a minute. And I also liked the other infected chase scene with Joel, Dina, and Abby. I would have liked to see way more of that, as I'll get into. Unfortunately, there wasn't a huge amount I really liked, so that's about as far as it goes. Okay, dislikes. Let's start off with Abby's group. They don't look like they could hum a butterfly for one, and I swear there are way less of them that travelled than in the game. Like, there was only 5 of them in the show, I think. And I mean, particularly Abby, I mean, look at her, I just don't believe she'd be able to do that to Joel. Like, I just imagine Ellie scream, "Get up, Joel," and him going, "Okay." Like, I just don't see it. Because no way did she do that to Joel's skull with her fist. There is no chance. As I mentioned earlier, considering it's Joel's last episode, it would have been nicer to see him a bit more, but he didn't actually get that much screen time for his literal death. Like, surely they must have been able to fit him in a bit more. And I'm not sure why they switched Tommy out with Dina. That didn't really seem to make much sense. Also, just gotta shout out Tommy being infected repellent again. That's pretty great. And my main gripe, as it was in the game, Joel's death, is equally as bad, if not worse. Like, one, why was Dina sedated? That just made no sense to them to do. Not a big deal, but still. Like, why would they give a shit whether she sees? They're not exactly the caring bunch. The fact they swapped out the club for a fist too, like, I didn't like the fact that they clubbed Joel to death in the first one, but I feel like this is even worse. Like, how am I supposed to believe that she did that to Joel? And her explaining herself to Joel would have been great and all if I gave a shit about her character, but I don't. Even after recently playing through the second game, I get where she's coming from, but I just don't care. And I'm not sure people who didn't play the game will yet either. Like, I don't think anyone's gonna be on her side. Which, I get that's what they're going for, the switch and bait. We're gonna get Abby's perspective, but I just don't think it's gonna work. And the next stab, in my opinion, was worse than the clubbing. But what do I know? I don't know if that'll be a popular opinion. Overall, I know I complained a lot. It's not horrendous, but it's certainly not great. Like, I enjoyed it. But again, there was a lot of things I think they could have done better. And I know it will probably get great critic reviews. Again, it's all about execution, and I'm not really buying it. As for the future of the show, I'm also worried about Bella Ramsey now being the main character. I'm not sure she's going to fare well leading the show. She just doesn't seem to have the versatility. Like, I thought she handled Joel's death scene pretty well, but the rest of the episode was just making me cringe. Like, she looks and feels like a 12-year-old. But I hope I'm proven wrong. Like, if she can prove me wrong, great, good on her. Anyway, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, for more weekly content, and yeah, that sounds very proper, content. But I will see you guys in the next one.